Although a round behind, Blackburn Rovers had been widely considered a good cut bet this season, and inside the first minute at home to Coventry City they went in front. Tim Sherwood released by Graham Lasso, a clinical finish from the skipper, and that seemed likely to set Blackburn up for a smooth passage. But Coventry recovered well. In the 28th minute, Ian Jess got in the way of a thumping shot by Paul Telfer, but he steadied himself to rifle the ball home. A minute before half-time, the visitors went in front. Gary McAllister and Jess combining before Noel Whelan set up Darren Huckabee. The New England under-21 star finished expertly. After the break, Coventry City's sole survivor from their 87 Cup triumph, Steve Ogrizovic, kept them on the road to Wembley. Brian Burrows was adjudged to have fouled Kevin Gallagher inside the box. The referee Stephen Lodge punished Burrows with a yellow card, but he was in no doubt that it was a penalty. Then Ogrizovic magnificently saved Chris Sutton's spot kick and also gathered up the rebound just in time. Coventry through to round 5 for the first time since they won the Cup. They'll next meet Midland neighbours Derby. Second Division promotion chasers Chesterfield were hoping to create history at the recreation ground, and a whole town hoped the club could reach the last 8 for the first time in their 106-year history. A local derby to savour against the Premier League club Nottingham Forest from just down the road. Match commentary from Gary Bloom.
Beaumont. Oh, that's a great ball. Howard. He's surely going to win inside a penalty. And Crossley could be sent off. He is off. Crossley has been sent off. And Chesterfield have the penalty. I don't think Crossley can have any complaints about this. Howard was clean through. Forest do have, I think, a substitute goalkeeper in Alan Fettis. Tom Curtis to take the penalty for Chesterfield. And he scores! It's all over! Chesterfield are through to the 6th round of the FA Cup. A penalty by Tom Curtis is enough to write a new chapter in the history of Chesterfield.
Leeds United hadn't conceded a goal in 5 starts in the Premier League, but against Division 1's form side, the record went inside 7 minutes. Lee Bradbury's left-wing cross headed home by Alan McLaughlin. Even though Pompey lost McLaughlin soon after with injury, they had Leeds in deeper trouble. Bradbury's header struck Gary Kelly on the line, and the referee Paul Alcott awarded a penalty. Leeds were mighty relieved that Nigel Martin produced his 2nd penalty stop in the Cup this season to deny Fitzroy Simpson. A big let-off for Leeds. They rallied in the second half. Rod Wallace opened up the Pompey defence, and Lee Bowyer slid home in the 50th minute. But Portsmouth simply stormed back, and on 66 minutes their Swedish striker Matthias Svensson spun away from Rob Molinar and clinically finished into the far corner. His 6th goal since arriving from the Swedish champions Ulfsborg in November. And 4 minutes from time, Pompey booked their place in the 6th round, Svensson bursting clear and delightfully presenting Bradbury with a tap-in, his 12th of the season. Leeds rallied again. Bowyer turned in Lucas Radabé's cross in injury time, but it was too little and too late. George Graham undone by his old ally, Terry Venables, Portsmouth's 6th win in a row. Birmingham City were looking for a win to keep their season alive, and they looked well on course when Anders Limpar's corner was only half cleared by Brian Carey. It fell out to Steve Bruce, and the veteran centre-half applied an expert finish past Andy Marriott, his first goal in Birmingham's colours. But that seemed against the run of play, and in the second period it was all Wrexham. 6 minutes after the restart, Peter Ward's in-swinging free kick met by Brian Hughes. Ian Bennett in the Blues' goal had no chance. The tie swung Wrexham's way when City's top scorer Paul Devlin was sent off in the 57th minute for a dangerous challenge on Martin Chalk. Devlin looked aghast at the decision, but the referee Martin Boddenham was in no doubt it was high, late and dangerous. Birmingham down to 10 men, and Wrexham exploited the extra space to great effect. A corner from Ward, Tony Hume's near-post header getting through despite the combined efforts of Bennett and Michael Johnson on the line. And in the final minute, Wrexham made sure as their top scorer Carl Connolly ran through and touched the ball over the line. With that, Birmingham's season appeared to disintegrate. Wrexham through to round 6 for the first time since 1978 and only the third time in their history. QPR made the trip across London intent on denying Wimbledon the chance of a Wembley double this season, and they looked on course when an excellent flowing move ended with Mark Haitley steaming onto Gavin Peacock's cross to head home on 41 minutes. But that lead lasted just 2 minutes. Alan Kimball's near-post corner, Marcus Gale beating Alan MacDonald and flicking home his 12th of the season, the Dons dead ball kings once more. The winner was a gem from open play. Robbie Earle picking up Leonardson's pass, jinking inside Carl Reddy and curling a beauty into the top corner. A goal that helped install Wimbledon as cup favourites. A full house at the Pulse Stadium for a Yorkshire derby. Bradford hoping to upstage big city rivals. The visitors weathered some severe pressure. Late on, David Hurst broke clear to set up Richie Humphreys. His shot diverted by Nicky Mohan into his own net. Wednesday favoured by the run of the ball there, but otherwise showing the character that's made them one of the hardest Premier League sides to beat this season. Chelsea, the conquerors of Liverpool in round 4, met Premier League opposition again in round 5. Could their foreign legion keep them on the road to Wembley against a depleted Leicester side still doggedly pursuing cup success on 2 fronts? Match commentary comes from Alan Parry.
Chelsea's best little spell. This is Grayson. Oh, there's a disappointing cross, and it's opened up some room here for Chelsea. And Grayson struggling to get back. Petrescu into the space, and he finds Hughes. Danger here. It's 2-0. Mark Hughes increases Chelsea's lead in the 36th minute. And any vantage point will do for this sellout tie. Not quite sure what kind of view they got from that distance. But could they see a goal here? Yes, for Walsh. Leicester have pulled one back. Now, could this be the moment for Leicester to draw level? Oh, is there a goal? They have! Eddie Newton knocks the ball behind his own goalkeeper, and Leicester City have snatched an equaliser.
A cup tie embodying the romantic traditions of the FA Cup switched to the ultra-modern Riverside Stadium. But on 14 minutes, Stuart Lake headed down Paul Carty's free kick and Joe O'Connor drove past Ben Roberts. Most couldn't believe it, but Hensford's travelling support realised they could be about to make cup history. Borough was struggling to regain their composure when they were gifted an equaliser. Juninho's free kick, Andy Comyn trying to clear, with the ball rebounding off the unfortunate Colin Lambert. In the second half, Hensford resisted all attempts by the multi-million-pound stars ranged against them until the arrival of Jan Fjortoft as a late substitute. It produced an immediate and dramatic goal. Borough in front on 85 minutes. Henford's hearts close to breaking, but they hit the post and then Borough broke. Ravanelli turning home Emerson's low cross to make the game safe at last. But there was still time for a small measure of compensation. Hensford having the last word in a famous performance. O'Connor meeting Devine's cross in injury time. It could have been the greatest single giant killing in years. It will surely be the proudest day in Hensford's 117-year history. Everton won the Cup in 1995, but otherwise round 4's becoming an insurmountable hurdle in recent times. This the biggest embarrassment. Division 1 strugglers Bradford, inspired by a brilliant Chris Waddle, going in front when John Dreyer was set up by the former England winger 4 minutes after the break. 2 minutes later, Bradford went 2 up. Andrei Kanchelskis indulging in some scandalous defending, the rest all down to the brilliance of Waddle. How will have enjoyed chipping Neville Southall from fully 35 yards. Everton did pull one back when Andy O'Brien helped the ball into his own net, trying to clear after Gary Speed had touched on Duncan Ferguson's header. But Waddle's perfect pass sent Rob Steiner clear of Everton's ragged defence. He beat Southall again, and that restored the 2-goal cushion. It was becoming frantic from Everton. They had to wait until injury time to get one more back. Speed's cross going in off the inside of the far post. That set up a few frantic moments of survival before the celebrations could commence. But Everton's season lies in tatters now. Division 3 promotion chasers Carlisle went through to the 4th round for the first time in 11 years. A packed house at Brunton Park setting out to make it a classic atmosphere for the upset. But Sheffield Wednesday quelled the crowd noise when Guy Whittingham headed Wednesday in front from Mark Pembridge's cross. It was an efficient Wednesday display. Hopes of a second-half comeback by Carlisle dashed just 2 minutes after the break. Andy Booth giving Wednesday a 2-goal lead from Ian Nolan's cross, and they protected it with grim intent and good organisation. Leicester's boss Martin O'Neill met his former employers at Filbert Street, and there were some old scores being settled on the field. Ian Marshall putting Leicester 1-0 up on 32 minutes. There was then a double sending off, Neil Lennon and Matt Jackson going off for violent conduct, and then an even more debatable penalty decision by Alan Wilkie. Forbes adjudged to have been brought down by Gary Parker inside the box. The home fans didn't agree. But Neil Adams took his chance on 39 minutes and levelled the scoring. Another contentious penalty settled the cup tie in the second half. This time Norwich were the team to suffer. Rob Newman adjudged to have manhandled Emil Heskey inside the box. The home fans agreed this time, and Parker stayed cool to fire Leicester into the next round on 67 minutes. An excellent week for Leicester, still progressing in 2 cups in a season full of hope. The holders Manchester United are trying to make it an unprecedented 4th trip to Wembley in a row, but they met a Wimbledon side in the middle of one of their best spells of form ever. Gary Bloom's the commentator.
This is Irwin, runs past Giggs. Solskjaer. Giggs. Cantona. Is this a winner for Manchester United? It is! Scores! Wimbledon trying to get on level terms here. And they've done it! Would you believe it? Robbie Earl makes it 1-1. It comes in stoppage time at the end of the game.
Derby made light of poor Premier League form and a desperate injury crisis to win this battle against the Midlands' biggest club. They survived an early onslaught and produced 2 in 4 minutes before the interval. Robbie van der Laan recalled to the side and celebrating in style on 36 minutes. Villa cracked again after some delightful skill by Alojza Asanovic. Dean Sturridge beating Bosnich once more. Villa threatened to hit back after the break, but the crucial goal arrived for Derby on 70 minutes. Asanovic to Sturridge, and Paul Trollope's chip side-footed in by Ron Willems from close range. Villa did rally, but Sasa Churchish's first goal for Villa from 25 yards only put some small balance to the score sheet. It was a famous win for Derby given their injury problems and a couple of barren months in the league, and more hope of silverware disappears for Aston Villa. Two of the promotion hopefuls in Division 1 proved they can entertain as well in the Cup. Barnsley went in front when Neil Redfern's free kick somehow got through Tony Roberts to give the visitors the lead on 13 minutes. But Rangers' new signings again stepped in to play a decisive part. Gavin Peacock levelling it on 21 minutes after he was sent clear by John Spencer. And Rangers went in front 5 minutes later. Alan MacDonald's long ball knocked down by Danny Dichio, and this time it was Spencer who finished his 9th goal in 12 games since arriving from Chelsea. QPR had to face most of the second period with just 10 men after Andy Impey was sent off for punching Nicky Eden on 50 minutes. A furious melee resulted, but QPR afterwards said they had few complaints about the referee's decision. They also then had to weather some severe Barnsley pressure. But the siege was lifted by a contender for goal of the season from Trevor Sinclair. Dave Watson in Barnsley's goal, helpless and stranded, as Sinclair produced an amazing piece of individual skill. John Hendry pulled one back for Barnsley from outside the box late on, but it wasn't enough to prevent them being beaten by their promotion rivals for the 3rd time this season. At St James's Park, it was Kenny Dalglish against Stuart Pearce. Dalglish still getting to know his new squad at Newcastle, Pearce inspiring Forest to their best run of the season. That's hung in there for Ferdinand, and this time Newcastle United break through, and it's Les Ferdinand with one of the most precious goals of his season. This is Roy. Well, thought about the shot on the left foot. It cracked in! Would you believe it? Improvised knock-on by Campbell, and Forest have bodies up here. This is Woan. That's another one, and that is a genuine contender for one of the goals of the season from Ian Woan. This cup tie's been turned on its head